Good evening, YouTube. This is Rick, Black Rifle from North Augusta, South Carolina. Tonight we're coming to talk to you about processing the hog. As you know, I'm a nuisance wildlife control operator, and I hunt primarily feral hogs, and we field dress them. And a viewer asked me what kind of knife I use for field dressing. Well, this is one of them from the Smokey Mountain Knife Works. This is an Ocoee River folding hunter. That'd pretty much do it for a small pig. But you need something to chop through the pelvis bone and the brisket. So when you get in there, small knife is really hard to break that breastbone and break that pelvis bone. So I come across a deal at Smoky Mountain Knife Works. I got me a Damascus Bowie knife, which is this knife right here. Comes with a leather sheath. And that's a Damascus blade. Thing's sharp as a razor too. Leather wrapped handle. Got a nice blood groove on both sides. This is what in the military we call a phase 1 survival knife. Made for chopping and working with heavy stuff like limbs of trees and things like that. You can hack it off, and you could use this to break that pelvis bone, break that brisket, up to the breast there. But this is Damascus steel. I find it to be an attractive pattern on there, and I really like the knife. It's like I said, this thing's sharp as a razor. And so is that Ocoee River as far as that goes. We want to keep a light coat of oil on the blade to protect that blade or the rust, because it is Damascus steel. But that's what I use. And it's a heavy knife, it's a big knife, but like I said, for that breastbone and that pelvis bone, you need a knife like that to break through it. And even if you split the spine bone and fold the butterfly, the hog, see, if you get a hog that's 75-80 pounds, this would do it. This little knife, this little field dressing knife. But when you get them big ones, you need a large knife. And we skin them. We don't scrape them like they do to get the hair off. They'll boil water, lift it up, and they dunk the hog into the water, and then they take a scraper and scrape all the hair off so it's nice and white. We don't do that. We just skin them. Anyway, and we field dress it, and then we carry it to the processor. But evenings here, sometimes it's 85-90 degrees at night here in South Carolina, and we're up in the tree stand all night long with thermal or night vision, and get one of these hogs. You got to get that thing field dressed right away, and that's key. I remember one time, me and my partner Herbert, we were out in the woods. It's about 2 years ago or 3 years ago. We were out in the woods just stalking, and we seen a pig. I seen some piglets run by, and then I seen the sow coming behind them, and she didn't smell us because the wind was coming in our face, coming from them to us. So we were downwind of them. So I aimed the shotgun and I shot it from about, it was a good 40-yard shot, and hit the pig in the shoulder, and the buckshot went right through it. Hit the tree on the other side and left a pattern mark there. Had pieces of buckshot hanging out the hide on the other side. So I took out both shoulders, so I ruined 2 good Boston butts. Anyway, the butt comes from the shoulder area. A lot of people think it comes from the rear end, but that's where the ham comes from. So you think they would call the ham the butt and the front shoulder the ham. But anyway, we were about 4 miles from our truck, and we had this 250-pound hog, and we're dragging it by its rear legs to the woods. And we got about a mile, and we were wore slap out. So I pulled out my trusty knife, and we went to town on that hog, trying to, we skinned it, and we gutted it and left the gut pile there for the coyotes. But we didn't have a knife powerful enough to break through that pelvis bone and that breastbone. So we finally got to the truck. This is like in October, so it was a cooler weather, so we got to the truck and took the hog and took it to the processor, and it got processed. But that's how we lightened the load. Took the pig and field dressed it right there. Took the hide off of it. It was a lot easier to carry that way. Took the head off too. And that's what this is good for. Now, I'm not going to be one of these guys that jumps down on the hog's back and stabs it with one of these big knives, Just not my cup of tea. I'm too old to take that cutter up the side of the leg. I'm not going to put myself at risk. I'll stick to the 21 feet in the air at night with a night vision scope. But anyway, this is the knife. Smoky Mountain Gun Works, or Smoky Mountain Knife Works. Just a beautiful knife. And the price, you can't beat it. I think it's $40-something for that knife. This is a Marbles knife. The brand name is Marbles. Anyway, Marbles is a Spanish knife made in Spain, and it's a real good looking knife. I like that leather stack handle on it. I really like that, the brass guard and everything. So that's a good hunting knife, a good survival knife. You want something like that. You carry 3 knives. You got a phase 1, phase 2, and phase 3 survival knives. Okay, this would be a phase 1. This would be a phase 2, and a smaller knife would be a phase 3 for starting fires, or a little flint and all of that stuff. So. But we're not doing too much of a survival situation. I just bought this so I don't have to carry a hatchet around with me. And the hatchet's only got a small cutting surface. So when we're done sharpening our hatchets, they're pretty sharp. But they're not as sharp as this Bowie. And they don't have near the cutting surface, so it's got a lot of cutting surface. So when you come down with that heavy knife on that pelvis bone, it's split right down the middle. You shatter it right there, cut right through it. Same with the brisket, the breast. Just hit it like that, and you're done. Whereas a hatchet, you got to hit it, whack it a few times. So, but quite a heavy knife to carry on the belt, but that's what you got to have, though. You need something like that to do that work. And then we hoist it up on a gimbal, spread the legs out, we open it up, and everything goes into a bucket. We get a 55-gallon drum. The bottom's cut off of it. It's a plastic. It's got 2 rope handles on it. Put it in underneath the hog. Put you a trash bag liner in there, so everything goes into the trash bag. And you just throw everything in the trash bag, fold it up, take your rubber gloves off. Always wear rubber gloves when you handle wild game, because they have bloodborne diseases that are contagious to humans. Pigs have brucellosis. So I do wear gloves, and you got to keep any cut covered with a band-aid than covered with a rubber glove. If you've got a cut on your hand, you want to stay away from the hog blood. And same with some deer. They have some bloodborne diseases too. So it's got to be cooked well. And this is it. I just wanted to show you these 2 knives from Smoky Mountain Knife Works. I think it's a fine company, and I recommend the Marbles brand if you're going to get a Bowie. This is a real nice one, and for the money you're getting a good deal. I like this better than my case Bowie. It's a lot longer, but this is Damascus steel. I always wanted a Damascus steel knife. I'd like to get a Damascus folder like this, but I haven't run across one yet. But when I do, I'll probably purchase one. But for I think it's $45 or $43 for this Bowie, it was well worth the price. So check them out, Smoky Mountain Knife Works. They got a catalog, they got a website, and they got all kind of stuff in there might interest you. The outdoorsman, the sportsman. This is Rick, Black Rifle from North Augusta, South Carolina, having a nice cup of hot coffee this evening, and just enjoying the evening at home. Gonna sit this one out tonight. Not gonna be out there. I was out at the range today, zeroed my weapon, and it's ready to go. So my night vision zeroed on my 300 blackout, and I hope to show you a video of it taking on a hog. This is Rick, Black Rifle from North Augusta, South Carolina, saying so long. Bye bye. Okay, that's my gear that I carry in the field. Carry my pistol, my 9mm. That's my big hunt knife for splitting those briskets. This is my smaller Coe River. These are all from Smoky Mountain Knife Works. That Damascus blade is just beautiful. You look at that pattern on that Damascus blade. What do you think of that pattern? Like and comment on my thing if you like this knife. But go ahead and Google Smoky Mountain Knife Works. And that's a Springfield XDM 9mm, full size, 4.5 inch barrel, a laser sight, 19 rounds in the magazine and 1 in the chamber. That's it. This is Rick, Black Rifle from South Carolina. Good night.